Hello, everybody. Scott Garcia, National Marketing Director, Integrated Trust Systems. Hope you're all well and enjoy this presentation. Thanks for your time. I wanted to go over today some of the things I think you really need to know. With that in mind, I'm going to share my screen, get right to it, go through some things that I really think you need to know, and this will help you out. Okay, so we have this right here. That things you need to know. Number one, how to handle blended families. Let's do this. How to handle blended families. Okay. So what's going to happen many times is you're going to have people come in that have been married prior to them to seeing you. So this is kind of a delicate situation sometimes. Again, you're not an attorney probably, so you can't give legal advice. You can't advise these people what to do. But if you have a blended family where people come in and let's say that somebody comes in, they've been married 5 years, great marriage, but the gentleman's got 3 kids, the wife's got 3 kids from previous marriages, and the one thing you have to explain to people is when we handle a married couple, okay, we can either do it one or two ways. Number one, we can do one co-grantor trust. One trust, two people. One co-grantor. Both people are grantors. One co-grantor trust. That can be useful and helpful, and it can work. It can be a great strategy. However, we have to explain to people is if whenever the first spouse dies, the surviving spouse can change anything. So that could put somebody in a precarious situation. If I've been married for 5 years and my wife has 3 kids from a previous marriage, I have 3 kids from my previous marriage, and I die, well, there's certain things I can do that would possibly hurt her kids. Or if she dies, or if I die, she could do the same thing to my kids. So if it's a situation where there's a blended family not been married very long, and that's a concern when you bring that up, okay, I would then tell them, here's what we should do. Because you don't want to give them a reason to procrastinate. Oh, we need to think about that. We're going to go home and talk about it. Here's what I would say. Would you guys both agree you need to do some planning? Yes, you do. Okay, great. What we need to do then, because I can't give you advice, what we need to do is let's start with one co-grantor trust, pay the fee, we'll get you started. We'll list both of you. I'm going to put this information in the notes section. The attorney will see that when you have your attorney review, the attorney can advise you. The attorney might be able to word things correctly where you only need one trust, or he may or she may suggest two trusts. If they suggest two trusts, then there's going to be a separate fee, and we'll break it off into two trusts. But let's get going on this. We don't want to give them a reason to not move forward because if they do, they'll procrastinate. Now, remember this, a blended family that's been married 27 years is a whole lot different than a blended family that's been married 5 years or 3 years. So keep that in mind, but always bring that up. You want to bring it up for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's your job. Number two, if you don't bring it up and the attorney finds out it's a blended family, you didn't bring it up as an advisor, the attorney's going to have a problem with you. So we don't want that to happen. So again, whenever there's a blended family, people have kids from other marriages, it's a blended family. You want to talk about this. I guess the way when I bring it up is probably right after you give them the price. Okay, I bring it up and say it's 29.95, 20, so whatever it is. Here's the price. However, I need to talk to you guys about something. You've only been married 5 years, and I know Joe, you have 3 kids from a previous marriage. Sarah, you have 3 kids. When you have your attorney review, here's what might happen. See, we have to realize, guys, if we move forward, you pay the one fee, which is fine. That's fine. But when somebody dies, one of you dies, the surviving spouse controls everything. And that could be a detriment to the person who died's children. Because Joe, if you die, your wife Sarah can change anything. And Sarah, if you die, Joe can change it. Now that might be not be a concern. If you guys trust each other and know that you're gonna do the right thing, then it's probably not even a concern. But if it's a concern, you might need to have two trusts. But what I suggest now is let's move forward with the one. Give me the credit card, we'll get you started. I'm going to put a note in the notes section, and the attorney will handle that on your attorney review. Now he or she may be able to word it correctly. We only need one trust, but you might have to need two. I just want to bring it up now. So let's move forward. Give me the credit card and let's move on. Now you're going to want to put that in the notepad though. What happened? Cover yourself. Make sure the attorney's aware with it. You shouldn't have any problem. Number two, how to handle somebody who already has a trust. Remember this. We talk about it in a couple of these sessions. But anybody has a trust when they come and see you, which is going to happen quite a bit, it's usually going to be a paper book trust. They want to restate it. Remember this, one of the biggest reasons for them to do business with you is a book trust or paper. What are the detriments of a book trust or paper? Well, they can't change it in most cases. They have no control. They got to pay for changes. When a law changes, it won't be updated probably right away. If they get a call from the attorney's probably going to charge them. There's no medical ID card interactive. There's no eVault Center, no PostScript page. What else in a book trust? That's a detriment. I hope that's enough. That's 8. Here's the other problem. Here's the other one. If somebody comes in with a trust, they know need to be upgraded. What you can say to them is, Martha and Joe, I'm glad you guys came in. I know your trust is 8 years old or 10 years old or 20 years old. I know you need to upgrade things. Here's the problem if you don't do business with us. If you go anywhere else and get a traditional book trust or paper trust, because things will change again in the next 8 to 10 years, family dynamics, your assets, laws will change. You're going to pay another fee in about 8 to 10 years probably anyway, because you got to restate it again. So you'll keep doing that. And Joe and Martha, you're only 62. You might do one when you're 70, when you're 79, when you're 88. You might do 3 of these. You might pay now his time, but 3 more times. See, the benefit of our platform is you only pay a one-time flat fee for the documents. And as we go through the process, as you guys make changes or we make changes for you, we're actually never going to have to do a restatement. We eliminate it. So a good reason to do business with us is you eliminate the restatements. Does that make sense? Other than those other 8 things I just told you. So somebody already has a trust. It's a great prospect because they've already been through all that. They know they can't change. They know the attorney didn't call them. They know the law changed, nobody called them. They know they can't make a change from their kitchen table. They already know all that. So it's a great situation. The other thing we have to keep in mind with somebody who already has a trust when they come in, if they've retitled one asset, they could be worth $10 million. They retitled a $50,000 bank account, and that's over the threshold in their state for probate. It's been retitled. Any assets being retitled, you have to do a restatement of trust. You got to click the button on the menu to have the $125 fee. You've got to use the old trust name and the original date. You put the old trust name in where it says name of trust. You use the old trust name. Then in section 7, the notepad, while you enroll them, you write down the old trust name exactly and put the date it was signed. That covers your butt. It's the correct way to do it. And the attorney will see that and handle it. So any questions on that, let me know. That's number 2, how to handle some areas of trust. Number 3, don't ever answer legal questions. When somebody asks a legal question, the response is, that's a great question. As soon as you retain us for $95 a year, as soon as you retain us, comma, the retaining is not $95 a year. So as soon as you retain us, pay the one-time flat fee. After that, for $95 a year, you can ask all the legal questions regarding your estate plan, and everything's recorded and time and date stamped. Isn't that great? One of the things that helped me, guys, when I started this process, and I was concerned, all you were asking me legal questions. Well, I found out right away, I don't know any of the legal stuff. And how long does it take me to learn all this stuff? And boy, Gary told me, Scott, you can't answer legal questions anyway. So that was a good feeling. That was a great thing for me to learn. When I found out I had to answer a legal question, I was like, this is awesome. I don't got to answer. I can defer that. So even though now I know a lot more than I did 9 years ago, when somebody asks me a question that's 0.00001% legal, my response is, that's a great question, Joe. As soon as you retain us and pay the one-time flat fee, for $95 a year after that, unlimited, you can log into your estate plan, ask any question regarding your estate plan, request changes, and for unlimited access for $95 a year, we'll answer all those questions, make all your changes, never have to leave your home. Everything's time and date stamped for the second. Isn't that great? I can answer a legal question. People like that. They respect it. It's perfect. You got to spend any time. Don't become a legal expert. Number 1, it's a waste of time if you're not an attorney. Number 2, it could get you in big trouble. So don't do that. Number 4, don't try to become a legal expert. It'll probably get you in trouble. I just covered that. That is true. Number 5, we don't sell trust. We implement the estate plan portfolio. Unless you're an attorney, you can't sell your services. We do not sell trust. We implement the estate plan portfolio. We implement the estate plan portfolio. We implement the estate plan portfolio. We do not sell trust. You never make a sale, you make an implementation. We implement the estate plan portfolio. I'm going to say it 10 times. No, I'm not, but I could. We implement the estate plan portfolio. Please put that in your memory bank. Number 6, you only set up the funding appointment, step 2 in the process, when you enroll somebody in the plan by going to the Notepad Center. See how to enroll somebody. We don't worry about 3, 4, and 5. That's all handled for you guys. Free up your time. When I do the seminar, people come in, I enroll them, set up step 2, and then I move on. I then watch for step 3, 4, and 5 to occur. When I see the attorney review has been done, that's my cue to call the client. That's it. I spent an hour and 50 minutes at the seminar, an hour at the intake, and I'm done till step 5. It's a great process, guys. We have this whole entire team for you guys to use. Quit wasting your time trying to do 3 and 4 and what's going on with this and that. Let it go. Go do another seminar. That's how you make money, okay? You have a whole staff to help your people. Number 7, what you should know. You don't upload things in the do not upload things in the client's trust. Again, why would you waste your time doing things we already have a staff to do for you? My other point is you should not, if possible, let your number 8, you should not, if possible, let your clients upload things initially in the trust. Here's what happened, guys. All the stuff you guys might be trying to do and think of, we've already done it. We already made the mistakes. Here's what happens. If you tell your client initially, yeah, you can upload all your stuff, they're going to put their brokerage account in the IRA section. The bank account will be under retirement account because they think it's a retirement account. Their checking account will be in the IRA section. It'll be a mess. We'll waste more time figuring it out, trying to straighten them out. They'll be frustrated. Once they're frustrated, you told me they did something incorrect, then they're not going to use the system, they're not going to refer you to anybody. My opinion, my advice is initially don't let them upload anything. Joe, I really think that's great. You want to upload things. You're going to love the platform. Initially, Joe, do me a favor. Just get me the copy. Let our staff upload them for you, get it all set up. When you have your funding appointment, which I'm going to set up today, they'll walk you through this. Now, after you have went through the process, showed you everything, and when you buy a new car in 3 years or 6 months, go ahead and upload it, no problem. But in the beginning, Joe and Martha, let us do our job to teach you correctly. I'm just trying to save you guys time. Does that make sense? All right. Number 9, don't become an expert on ancillary orders in the council. We talked about that. There's a tape I just did called Ancillary Orders. Watch the tape. Don't become an expert on ancillary orders, special needs trust, Medicaid qualifying trust, universal guardian trust, CRATs, CRUTs, whatever. We don't make any money on those things. You can't talk about it. You're not an attorney. You're going to waste your time. You're going to screw it up. Don't do it. When somebody asks me about a universal guardian trust, I say, Joe and Martha, that's great. We have an expert that does that for you. But to get the universal guardian trust, you have to have a revocable living trust first. Let's go through your needs right now. Let's see if you're a candidate. Once you retain us, I can get you on the call with an expert that can help you with the universal guardian trust. That's it. If the client shows interest and needs something on the ancillary orders, just send Gary Losgard an email and the client's prospect information or leave it in the notepad. Gary will call them. You still get to see all the assets, but you don't make money on the trust fee. I'm going to read it again. Don't become an expert on ancillary orders. We as agents and advisors don't get paid on ancillary orders. If a client shows interest or needs something on the ancillary orders offers, just send Gary Losgard an email, Gary@integratedtrustsystems.com, or you can go through the client prospects information. Send him an email with the client's information. Gary will take it from there. You can also send Gary an email to the client's notepad. You can log into your advisor console, go to the client's file, hit notepad, and leave Gary a message through the client's notepad to call this client about a universal guardian trust or a special needs trust or a Nevada Wealth Preservation Trust. You don't make any money on that. Let Gary handle it. But the cool thing is when it's funded, they still go through the same process. When it's funded, you get to see all the assets. So you do have a benefit. All right. Number 10, if somebody needs a special needs trust, they have to buy a revocable living trust first. So it's a guaranteed implementation for you. Enroll them and put the note in the notepad when enrolling them, Gary, to call the client. Okay, great. So somebody comes in for a special needs trust. That's their main focus. I'm excited. It's a guaranteed implementation for me. Then I'm going to refer them to one of my specialists, Gary Losgard. Irrevocable living trust provides no protection for a client against a lawsuit, bankruptcy, or nursing home. Its primary purpose is to avoid probate. A revocable living trust provides no protection for the client against a lawsuit, bankruptcy, or nursing home. Its primary purpose is to avoid probate avoidance. Now, we do have in the seminar how to protect your kids against a lawsuit, divorce, or bankruptcy. That's on the IRA. The IRA beneficiary trust does that on their IRA, not their house. Make sure you understand this, okay? But don't give legal advice. If someone has a Nevada trust but has title to Angelo assets outside Nevada trust not funded, that asset could go through probate in the state they have resident in. It's important that the client keep their trust funded. So somebody comes into me gives me all their information in Missouri. We upload it, we sign it. It's a sign of the trust. The trust is e-signed. It's going to avoid probate, but they didn't tell me about their 2 bank accounts in their car and they die. Well, those assets could go through probate. Now, good thing we have a poor will that could handle that, but those assets would go through probate if we didn't use the poor will, or maybe still would go through probate. So it's important. You got to tell your clients, and you guys should be doing reviews. All your clients should come in for a review every year, and you ask them, what did you buy last year? Did you sell anything? Oh, you sold something. Let's get rid of it. What did you buy? Oh, you bought a car and 2 jet skis. They have a title. Yeah, okay. We bought a big tractor trailer, lawnmower. Oh, it's got a title. Okay, put it in the trust. We got to keep it up to date. They changed their brokerage account from this company to this company. It's a change. We got to get the old statement out, put the new statement in. They changed from this bank to that bank. Keep it up to date. The more you service your client, the more referrals they're going to get. All right. You should do an annual review with clients. It's the right thing to do. Client appreciates it, and it's a great time to ask for referrals. Number 13, know the difference between traditional funding, the book or paper trust, and electronic funding, our process. If you have any questions, call me 314-580-0524. I'm sure there'll be things I add to this, but we covered the 13. Remember, book, trust, paper, in most cases, got to be funded by retitling assets in the trust name. It's confusing, complicated. It's a pain in the neck. It's often not done by the majority of law firms, in my experience, because it's confusing. That's why one of the reasons our process is so important, because we eliminate that. We can assign assets to the trust electronically. As long as you don't live in North Carolina or New York, it's a great system. If you live in North Carolina, New York, you got to be a little bit more careful. So if you need more information from that, give me a call, 314-580-0524. But those are 13 things you really need to be aware of. And it's going to help you guys save you time, make you more effective, make you more money, help more people, all that kind of great stuff. Remember, keep the client first and go out there and help somebody. They all need you. Take care. Have a great day. Scott Garcia, National Marketing Director, Integrated Trust Systems, 314-580-0524. Thank you.